Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. We're going to talk today about the United States, China, Taiwan, and chips. We're also going to be talking about artificial intelligence and how that plays into this insane story. Guys, got a story that I want to share today, and it is about Taiwan chip giant sees no production hit from China curb on rare metals. This is very, very serious. And the reason why I want people to understand how big this is right now we are in an economic war and an intelligence war. Right now, we are literally going into the fourth industrial revolution, and artificial intelligence is moving us into that, and it's moving us into it very, very rapidly. Now that the genie's out of the bottle, this is happening, and it's happening super fast. And one thing that China knows and the US knows is that we have to get as many microchips as possible. You guys saw in the last couple of years with microchips being in short supply, how we had insane supply shortages on everything from cars to consumer electronics, but also even just a washer and a dryer, literally worthless without the microchip. Well, now we see China not only wanting to move into Taiwan because it wants to build its empire and it wants to be able to defend the waters more easily around it, but also because they want Taiwan's semiconductor industry. Now, what is even crazier is if you heard, and probably a lot of people didn't, and I'm gonna play a clip of it, of an elected official literally saying that we will bomb the Taiwanese chip plant if China moves in.
Just making it very clear to the Chinese that if you invade Taiwan, we're gonna blow up TSMC. I just throw that out not because that's necessarily the best strategy, but because it's an example of debate that's out there. And of course, the Taiwanese really don't like this idea.
Now think about this. Why would he come out and say it so strongly? It's because that is the #1 priority for the US and for China. As a matter of fact, right now, Taiwan has been building industry over here, taking their semiconductor industry and moving it to the US. There was a big plant that was built just in Arizona alone, and it's growing more and more by the day. Now, look, I want to actually throw a spot out. Today is a sponsored video, and I thank them for that in the middle of me bringing you truth. The company that's sponsoring today's video is Generative AI Solutions. It's traded on the OTC under the symbol AICOF, and we're going to talk about them and what they plan on doing because they want to be able to take advantage of this AI revolution. But let's dive into this story. Check this out. Taiwan's chip giant TSMC said Thursday it did not expect any direct effect on production from China's latest export controls on 2 rare earth metals essential for making semiconductors. China's Ministry of Commerce and Customs announced on Monday that exports of gallium and germanium will require a license from August 1st over security concerns as Beijing and Washington tussle over the global market for chips. That is all this is about. China is trying to figure out how it can dominate the world chip industry. If they get this under control, they could actually take over and dominate the world's industry. We are in very, very serious trouble, okay? So one of the ways that they're trying to slow this process down is to curb exports of rare earth metals, okay? So another thing that people need to understand, it's not only controlling the supply of the chips, it's controlling the supply of the materials that make the chips. So now TSMC has come out and said, hey, there's not gonna be an issue here, but you have to see where this is headed, where this is going. It further goes on to say, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, whose clients include Apple and Intel, controls more than half of the world's output of silicon wafers that are used to power everything from drip coffee machines to cars and missiles. But let me stop there and say, I don't know if you've noticed, but Nvidia stock has absolutely exploded in the last year. Why? Because AI has brought a whole new reason to use these processors, and what a lot of crypto people were using to mine Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, they now are seeing these NVIDIA processors as being able to advance artificial intelligence and grow it even more. Because remember, it's one thing to have human beings evolve technology, bring technology to the forefront and get it to grow. But now computers are evolving so fast, it's growing so much faster, we can cause growth in technology to grow exponentially. So now let's pull back. Let's get that 20,000 foot view of what's going on. China is trying to move into Taiwan. They've straight up said, we are going to move in. Either it's going to be friendly, peaceful, or it's going to be by force. We have Taiwan urgently getting its semiconductor business out of its own country in fear that China is going to invade, getting it into the United States, primarily Arizona, I believe Texas, or some other states where these semiconductor plants coming from Taiwan are building up. We've seen over the last couple of years, China dominate the secondary market for not only chip materials, but the tools to build the chip machines, the machines that build the chips, okay? So we're seeing all of this happen all at once. We are seeing the world's economies literally split into two. We've got Russia, China, India, the BRICS nations, and so many more going one direction, with the US, Canada, and Europe going the other direction, right? And we're seeing this microchip crisis unfold right now before our eyes. So now I've got to think about where to invest my money. Now, you guys know that I'm invested in this sector, in artificial intelligence. I believe that this is going to be, personally, there are going to be stocks that are going to make the marijuana stocks of a handful of years ago look like a joke, because tech is always sort of the fastest boomer when it comes to the stock expansions and growth to how to make money. So let me talk about today's sponsor. Okay, it's Generative AI Solutions. Again, it's traded on the OTC boards at the symbol AICOF. Now, this is a microcap stock. Right now, as the recording of this video, the shares are trading in the upper 80-cent range. The market cap is $45 million. But a lot of these companies are small right now because literally the explosion of AI is literally happening right before our eyes. And a couple of things that I wanted to note that I think is very important. This company, essentially, think about it as building a platform using AI to then hand it off to other companies to use that platform to build their systems on top of. Imagine like you're literally building a house and you build the foundation of the house, and then you come to a prospective buyer and say, now all the hard work's done, all the permits have been pulled, everything's been set up, it's all ready to go, the pad's poured, all the utilities brought right to it. Now you build your dream home the way you want. And that's what AI Generative Solutions in a nutshell is doing for other companies. Now, they enable the creation of intelligent systems capable of automating complex tasks and decision-making processes. By training AI models on large data sets, these systems can generate content, analyze data, and make informed decisions with minimal human intervention. This automation has the potential to revolutionize industries by streamlining processes, increasing efficiency, and freeing up human resources for more strategic and creative work. Let me give you another analogy that I think is very important. When the gold rush happened in California, all these people raced over to California across the plains in the desire to get wealthy. And the way they thought they were going to get wealthy, or they believed they were going to get wealthy, was by digging and panning for gold, getting it out of the ground and selling it for dollars, right? That wasn't the case. The people that made the big money were actually selling the picks and shovels to the people wanting to go mine. Now think about this. This is a really interesting analogy. Ghirardelli Chocolate, Wells Fargo, and Levi Strauss were three examples of companies that made tons and tons of money during the gold rush, literally selling the supplies, or like in Ghirardelli's case, the chocolate, the treats, to those that were working hard to dig up the earth, trying to get claims to the earth, dig up the earth, pan and refine that gold, and then get it to the end user. Point being is that those people didn't make as much money as the ones literally selling them the picks, the shovels, and in Levi's case, the clothing. Now think about that. Now that's exactly what this company is doing. They are literally building the picks and shovels, the code base, the cloud integration system to literally hand it to companies and go, okay, now you can build on top of it. It's all the work's done, 90% of the work. Now you finish it with that other 10%. And here's an example. A couple of points that are good to note. The proprietary MAI cloud, which is part of, is really encompassing the whole story of generative AI solutions, is a culmination of advanced computing capabilities integrating seamlessly into a cloud-based solution, enabling unprecedented access to high-performance computing. MAI Cloud provides computational power exactly when and where it's needed by leveraging the cloud's power and the state-of-the-art NVIDIA H100 graphics processing units. They are removing the barriers to HPC usage, thus enabling both the internal, external Gen AI projects and third-party customers to harness the full potential of AI applications without significant capital investment. And that's what a lot of companies are looking for. They want to dive into AI, but other than getting on and logging into ChatGPT, they go, we know there's more to this, but we don't have the know-how, the people, the employees that know how to build these systems. And that's what generative AI solutions is doing. Another point that I wanted to make that was on their website that was really interesting, you know, generative AI solutions is like a venture fund for AI solutions, making strategic acquisitions in promising AI companies. Thus, it's like owning an AI fund or an ETF because you get exposure to several businesses at once. Now, one example they wanted to make is a company that they acquired 10% share in, which is called Remits.com, and it's a leading provider of automated revenue recovery services. Remits has leveraged data-driven analytics and industry-changing technologies to develop a unique approach to medical billing using sophisticated algorithms. Remits is able to identify and submit claims that would otherwise go uncollected, driving smarter billing processes and maximizing profits for healthcare professionals nationwide. And that's one example of a company that they own 10% of that they're investing in. So not only are they building these platforms for companies to build on top of, they're also taking funds and investing, they're divesting into other AI companies. So I like that as well. The point being is this: AI is here to stay, and it's going to get bigger, it's going to get more powerful, and a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. That is the sad part. But that's not going to help stop me from trying to figure out ways to make money off of this. Because like I've said it before, and I'll say it again, the only way we as human beings have the power is if we control the money. Not the few, not the elite, but we. So like the marijuana stocks, I never invested in those back then because just that wasn't my cup of tea. But in AI, I'm looking for things to put my money in. And again, I always say this because I'm no financial advisor, no financial professional, but I don't put all of my eggs into one basket. I look to put little bits in places, do my due diligence, and that's what I suggest you guys do. Guys, I want to thank Generative AI Solutions for sponsoring today's video. Go check them out. I'll put a link to their website down below. Hope you guys have a great day. The Economic Ninja is out.